Speed Gaming! It started. We have begun this stream, of course. Super Metroid Any Percent. We have Osse versus ScotTroid. And on comms, it's tournament organizer, host, just amazing runner himself, the keyboard master, Eddie. What's going on?
Not much stuff, not much. I'm just excited to be here in the comms booth with you to check out this awesome race that's about to happen between Osse and ScotTroid.
Yeah, seriously, this is all really solid stuff. I mean, Osse almost slayed the Zost, and that was quite a race to behold. He even PB'd in that particular race, so incredible display that we have been seeing, improvement from Osse. ScotTroid also, actually, for me, has been like sneaking up on everyone. So we should have quite the race. Osse is the favorite, however, to win this.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of interesting to kind of watch and because at this point of the tournament, I feel like everyone kind of has a story, right? Because at this point, if you've been in this tournament and you're still playing at this stage, you've gone through several opponents and you've probably played some very, very strong opponents in the process. And as you said, Osse putting up a nice fight against Zost, only not even coming less than a minute off of Zost in his race there, getting knocked into losers, but just coming up and just doing absolutely well, just so great in this tournament up until this point. Even before Zost having to take, I believe, B-Dog, who was actually the 8th seed, knocking B-Dog into losers. So, I mean, no easy task.
Even just the qualifiers alone were pretty exciting. I forgot how many qualifiers you had in total.
It was 8.
8, okay. And all of those just had really great matches. People that participated, people just wanted to improve their times. And we have seen a lot of improvement from a lot of runners in general. But like you said, and I really like how you phrase it, 45-44, I think 45-39?
Something like it was a 45 and it was a 44. They're about a second apart.
Okay, perfect. And like you said, everyone's got a story, like lore, behind their persona now. I think that's why I appreciate this tournament also, is because I haven't really felt that before as much, but everyone's playing their heart out, and just I'm wondering, if they're gonna keep going even after this tournament's over, if they're gonna take a break. It can be exhausting.
Yeah, I'd love it. If people kept running any percent, try to push their times after this. I imagine a few would, when they kind of realize, oh, maybe I've improved a lot. Maybe at this point I can get that PB I've always wanted. But understandably, I could see a lot of people also just taking a break after this, because this tournament has been, it's been quite a ride.
Yeah, a big roller coaster. I hope that everyone, kind of walks away taking something away, even if it's not, there's prize money, of course, and while that's cool, I think a lot of people can walk away from this tournament and just maybe, realize something like, I don't know, Osse could push a 42 or 41, ScotTroid could keep going at this, and we have a lot of people that still have personal goals that they wanna achieve, at least before their tenure, their time here on this tournament is over.
Yep, definitely. And on that note, I did notice that I was kind of talking a lot about kind of Osse's story getting here, going through all these strong players, only to get knocked down to the losers by Zost, and hence playing ScotTroid at this moment. But ScotTroid, ScotTroid, if there is someone who has shown a very big improvement of consistency in this tournament, it is absolutely ScotTroid. So ScotTroid in the qualifiers, actually had some issues with some consistency, had a lot of trouble finishing races, a lot of DNFs, managed to squeeze a few of those victories in, and was placed in the gold bracket. However, immediately getting knocked down in the first round to Sforzando. So had to fight his way all the way up from losers round 1, but in that process, beating out Galen, beating out Bressingham, and now facing Osse. And honestly, if his inconsistency in some of those matches were kind of showing early on, he made some adjustments, is probably going to be running the PKRD route unless he kind of realizes maybe this match is a little tough and decides, okay, let's just go all or nothing. But in that last match that we saw where he played against Bressingham, man, ScotTroid played really, really well, to the point where had he not taken the safeties that he did, and he just went full PRKD and everything worked out the way that it worked out on that run, he would have definitely gotten a PB.
Yeah, it's been a while since those qualifiers, so, and I don't know if he was just doing, any percent strictly only, on those qualifiers, not even practicing, depending on where he ended up would, kind of influence how much he practices. And now that he's here against Osse, I think, and like me knowing him from the 2017 randomizer tournament, like he can get pretty serious about this. Like he is pretty fierce and competitive. So I look forward to see what he does in this particular race, because yeah, you said it, like either he goes all out and runs the same route or boss order as Osse, or he sticks to what he knows, PKRD, and just tries to finish. Hopefully he can come out ahead.
Yep, definitely. Yeah, just very excited to see this matchup. Osse being a huge racing veteran, racing doesn't even race not only this category, but races like every other game too. Randomizers, you name it. He's doing like 2 other events in this tournament as well. So, there is something to be said about the value of being like a seasoned veteran in racing, because it definitely is a little bit different.
Yeah, and that's kind of something that I wondered about, like, well, because of course, Eddie, we know that we've seen a lot of favorites, that could potentially have a shot at taking this tournament, but they ended up getting eliminated. And part of me wonders if it's because it being a tournament setting, it kind of feels a little bit different. It's really, I don't know, it's really subtle, but the feeling is all there when you have all this tourney experience or race experience. It can kind of help you out in the long run.
Yeah, I mean, I think absolutely. I mean, we even saw Oates versus Ruya. That's definitely a match in the past that you have to watch if you haven't already. But Oates, after finishing that race, like he literally showed his hand to the camera. It was shaking. He could not stop shaking because he was so nervous on that going on. I mean, even the previous match we saw Zost. He's the world record holder. He said he was like about to have a heart attack. Like he said he was like going to die. that's how like scary it is in these moments. So it doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter how good you are. Like these races, they're scary. when it comes down to the wire, it's going to be scary. So Osse being a seasoned veteran, that's definitely going to help him. And ScotTroid actually has an interesting approach to this. Because oddly enough, in his previous matches, bad things happened to his opponents, and he did not take any safeties as a result. The way ScotTroid approaches this is he just plays the game like a run, and he doesn't actually look at his opponent's stream. So if we see Osse taking a death here or something like that, we can expect ScotTroid's probably not going to save. He's shown this in the past. So honestly, even though there's technically I guess you could say that's technically a disadvantage because you don't make an adaptation based off of what happens to your opponent. There's something to be said about the calmness that it might bring, that you're not just focused on anything else other than your own run.
Right. Yeah, because you will, in a way, treat it as such. Just, it's just a regular jog, regular practice run.
Yep.
Nothing too different if you can. Because I guess this is kind of what I think. When you first start off, the run, you're actually like sentient and just like you have that in the back of your mind, like, oh, this is a race, this is a race, this is a race.
Yep.
And then, you know, it finally settles in. You're just kind of in the zone, in the run, and that's when like the nerves should calm down. But then as you're approaching the end, oh my gosh, Osse taking that Caterpie hit. That's
not gonna hit.
But yeah, maybe that could work out to his advantage. At the same time, it's just not gonna allow him to play any safer.
Yep. So so far, it looks like both players made a few hiccups here. Osse taking that hit, but does have a little extra health. Both players actually did take a little fall in the red tower, but recovered pretty darn quickly. So Osse missed that jump, but you know that might end up working out for him because he did get some extra health as a result.
Yeah. Of course, you know, the special guest, the moat room, coming in clutch. Let's see what we can get with these horizontal bomb jump attempts.
HBJ for both players. Both players messing up the first one. Oh, Osse falls on the moat. ScotTroid also falling on the moat. So here we go. Double dipping.
Gosh. This is the first one to make it across the moat wins. Scotty.
All right, Osse getting over 2 with the backup HBJ, but there we go. Backup CWJ, backup HBJ, and both players are across the moat, neck and neck.
Yeah, and hopefully no one pulls a Sephi and falls into the ocean, because...
Oh, don't say that. If you said that and one of them fell at the very end, oh my gosh, I'd have to kick you off the comms, because you're intentionally sabotaging the race.
I kind of am. Well, something, you know, it feels like Wipeout sometimes, you know. You ever seen that show?
Yeah.
Especially with the water, like, right below them. Like, it couldn't be, like, better stated. But yeah, both runners actually really healthy on... I really like this energy. Just not, you know, the energy going into this fight. Scotty playing with fire. Take him.
Scott. Unnecessary hit. You know, I think he'll be fine. Let's see. Okay. No fast for either. No mid for ScotTroid. So that's going to be double slow.
Slow means someone's getting banned in chat.
Okay, that's probably going to be at least a 3-round for both players. I don't think Osse's Doppler was good enough there. That's a mid for ScotTroid. Probably a mid for Osse. All right, same RNG for both so far.
All
right, that's going to be a slow for ScotTroid and likely another mid for Osse. So Osse may be getting the slightly better pattern here. We're going to have to see. Yeah, that's the mid.
Oh, no.
Oh, Osse.
Yeah.
ScotTroid!
My goodness.
With the big Doppler. So, ScotTroid taking the lead here. Osse definitely losing time here on this Phantoon and Rage.
Yeah. The second round Doppy from Osse was just, I bet you it's one. Yep. It's always one. Eddie, isn't it always one?
It's always one. It's always one. So, Osse, Phantoon with 100 HP left. Unfortunately, one missile off. Finishes Phantoon off. At least he didn't get the slow punish, because that's always the worst.
Yeah, that too.
ScotTroid without the power bomb, so has to go through this room slow. That's going to help Osse catch up a little bit. Osse with the power bombs, but has no super missiles.
Yeah, there's going to be a farm right after picking up gravity, so it's not too detrimental. Maybe Osse also goes for like all missiles up in attic. But yeah, Scotty right here is going to be... Well, he did lose a little bit of time in this main shaft. I don't know how comfortable he is with the deselect here on power bomb. I know it trips me up sometimes.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. Oh, Scott. Oh, he was trying to go for a little deboost there, but unfortunately it didn't kind of work out. As we can see, ScotTroid looks like he's just kind of just throwing those supers. You know, that's potentially a hint to say that maybe he is going to go Kraid second, because you don't really need to conserve your supers if that's the case. And he has shown propensity to do that in the past. He was saying an adaptation he made in these live races is he kept dying in the qualifiers, so he's been trying to crate second. So yeah, if there's any hint that that might be the case, they would be right there.
And if that is the case, then him not really having power bombs at this time, it's not that really problematic because Kraid could drop, enough power bombs, or at least the one that kind of makes everything flow smoothly in Upper Norfair. He does at least want one, however, right before hitting the Meridia Tube, just for a little time save.
Yep. I think we have Zost recently has labbed that out, and can actually you don't save time, but if ScotTroid is going straight to Kraid potentially, but if he wasn't, I think Zost labbed out that technically it's better to use that power bomb in the high jump boots room if you had one as opposed to the Meridia Tube break. But I mean, who practices the Meridia Tube break leaving Kraid?
Yeah, that is actually very true. Well, I mean, who knows? Maybe we'll see Cutie right now. Just dish out that tutorial.
Whoa, gravity skip Rossi, but it's okay. He's immune to it because he doesn't open that door.
Yeah, someone tell Nevdi to go to bed.
Get out of here, Nevdi.
No, but okay, yeah, solid distance between both runners because Osse is a favorite, so he does have a little bit more experience with the movement. Oh, nice, gets a power bomb. But could be the case that Scotty just does not let up any room and just kind of plays the same way that he played against Brass, just consistently, and just kept that movement really comfy.
Yep. All right, so ScotTroid not farming any of those cacks when he only has 6 supers. Seffi, that's kind of telling me that he is in fact probably going Kraid second here.
Yeah, which is I really, now that I think about it, I do like being that wasteful in attic if you are doing Kraid second.
Exactly. Yeah. Don't have to kind of do like the tricky 3 missile shots angles where you potentially miss it. If you do that Kraid second, you can just kind of throw your supers away. In a way, you can say it's a little bit of a waste because ScotTroid did come out with max supers from the Fantoon fight, whereas Osse did kind of come out with less than he'd wanted, only 2 after leaving Fantoon. But I don't think Osse is the kind of person that tends to go do anything like Kraid second. I also don't think he would do it in this match, especially having not practiced it. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. We're going to probably see them potentially meet up in Meridia later on.
Yeah, so tiny route divergence. I really am a fan of how much of a machine Osse is, like if you're familiar with Osse, I know you've seen him around in SMZ3 races and stuff like that, and he just is always just killer fast. And it really also is great to see when someone from rando experience dips their toes into any percent or any just like normie category like we do.
Yeah. I mean, Osse, I think, has run any percent, but I think for vanilla SM is primarily known for his RBO run, being one of the only runners to have a sub 1 hour, I believe.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Osse also really, really good at that. Like, he can like do it all, I feel.
Yes, he can absolutely do it all. Right, here we go. We got the Kraid quick kill coming up for ScotTroid. Nice, good quick kill.
Supers got 1 power bomb. Yeah.
Yep. So ScotTroid grabbing that various suit. So at this point, it's a little bit harder to say who's ahead. ScotTroid was ahead due to what kind of happened in the wrecked ship, but we can probably expect that ScotTroid is going to pick up an additional E-tank that Osse may not. That's kind of what happens when you go for this Kraid second route. And at this point on, you're going to kind of be seeing ScotTroid trail behind Osse because ScotTroid is going straight to Upper Norfair next and is going to be collecting all the things that ScotTroid is right now. ScotTroid is I'm a little confused. He opted to wait for that mini grade shot. I don't feel like he needed to do that.
I guess just for the sake of making sure to have enough supers for Ridley. But yeah, not entirely sure.
Yeah, I would say that's a little bit weird because I mean you still do have like the speed booster farm up ahead. I want to say ScotTroid maybe got a little bit confused too, maybe because he also trying to do a pseudo on the first pirate. It kind of makes me wonder if he kind of like got confused with like another category for a second, like KPD or something like that, because he definitely had the resources there.
Yeah, no, that did strike me out just a little bit as odd. But I mean, I'm not ScotTroid.
All right, well, in any case, we have Osse over here going for that upper rising tide. Ooh, having a little bit of trouble there. I feel like when you kind of do upper and it doesn't go as the way that you want it to, you kind of bleed a little bit of time there.
Yeah, it's on the attempt to try to save a little bit more time, which as opposed to just rolling underneath the room. So kind of one of those rooms like, don't try this at home. Kind of like stick to rolling the underneath everything, because I know Slota still does that. So, but valiant effort to try to save, some time, especially because it doesn't really hurt to try to go for. It'll just hurt your time, but it's something that you kind of just got to keep implementing, and eventually it'll stick.
Now that bubble mountain that Osse went for, where you kind of freeze the bottom waver and jump to the top, I believe that's one of Cutie's main strats aside from right side. Interestingly enough, we actually saw Zost, who I would say is one of the most consistent right side strat employers, actually opted to switch to that strategy as well. So perhaps a wise race decision here. And let's see how many farm Osse goes for. 2 farm and go.
Yeah, that's 7. I know that, and we're gonna keep referencing Cutie because Cutie's also been the one to math it out and lab it out. He's like the Walter White of SM strats and times and everything. But I know he said that he's in favor of risking that gamble, leaving with 7 supers from that speed farm.
Yeah, I think that's like the 7 or 8 super mark is kind of where you want to go. Yeah, I guess yeah, Cutie did I know kind of math that out. I don't know if I'd call him the Walter White because
yeah, you're right.
I don't know if Cutie's offering me any drugs or at any point. But
you're right. He's the Jesse Pinkman. Yeah, no, you're so right, Eddie. How could I be? Because Walter White is Oates, of course.
Oh yeah, I would agree with that statement. Yeah.
I mean, he even has an emote that looks like Walter White. So.
Yeah. The under the table deals that Oates has offered me in the past. I'm not going to mention them here, but yeah, we'll keep that in mind.
Yeah, no, it's definitely not the tournament organizer in cahoots with anyone.
All right, we have Osse here opting to he's opting out. Oh, he's gonna do this. Wow, that was fast. This is the really kind of crazy gravity jump. That was amazing. So there you go. If you want to see a really kind of optimal approach to conserving your health and being safe for lower Norfair, gravity jump. That was it right there. Chronic boosted out from the previous room all the way to the left, wall jump, paused during the wall jump, unequipped the grav, and made it to the top while just barely draining an HP. That's a very strong strategy, and that was very well practiced.
Yeah, it went as smoothly as anyone that just kind of like mains it, and maybe he does. I don't think he actually does, but to have that as a backup, yeah, really great job, Osse.
Yeah, I gotta say, we're gonna have to definitely watch if Osse can get up this worst room in the game real quick here. Pressure's on. Nice wall jump up. Let's see. Gotta always get around this last pirate right here too.
Don't bunk that one.
Okay, so something I want to point out: ScotTroid has been taking, quite a bit of safeties. He did have that lead on Osse in the wrecked ship, but with the extra E-tank, ScotTroid had 8 supers and just opted to keep farming until he had max supers going into LN. That's a lot of time that's being bled here, just from ScotTroid's movement alone. I think Osse definitely saving time as a result. I think there's a good chance Osse's going to be ahead by the time we get to Meridia, assuming everything kind of works out the way that he wants it to.
Yeah, not only on top of the fact that the boss order that Osse is doing is already, you know, slightly faster over what ScotTroid's doing. Yeah, those extra safeties, I wonder if it's just because should Scotty end up somehow ahead still, it'll at least put him in a position where he cannot die.
Yes.
So he won't. So, you know, better to probably save whatever, you know, amount that he's losing now, as opposed to losing the, I don't know, 30 minutes.
Yes. Okay. So ScotTroid misses that lava dive. That's okay. He's got that various suit. Won't take any damage on this grab jump. Meanwhile, Osse with 9 supers is gonna have to make sure he gets a few power bombs. At least 3 is kind of what you want for this Ridley fight. Yeah, 2 is maybe not the best, but I do think Osse actually does an RBO style strategy where he goes 2 X factors without taking a hit to ensure like being safe in this fight. Let's see if that's the case. Oh, Ridley going with that left pattern. My understanding is that is an extremely rare pattern. And I think Osse just got scammed there. So it's okay. It's a time loss, but, you know, he's fine. He's fine. 224 health starting up this fight. Osse just wants to make sure that he gets through this fight as clean as possible from this point on.
Yeah, that was really odd. I mean, me, because I'm a normie, of course, goes without saying. Just listen to me. I've never seen Ridley actually, you know, hug the left like that. That's actually really
it's a rare. Those who do, I also do not play X Factors, but my understanding is that's a very rare pattern. That if it just happens, it happens, and you just cry. Osse not crying because he's a seasoned racer, going ahead and throwing these supers into Ridley. Ooh, ScotTroid taking some damage. That's okay, as long as they didn't take 2 hits there. It's kind of what you wouldn't want to see.
Honestly, Osse had control of that fight the entire time. Like, despite like whatever RNG Ridley gave off, it's just Osse had like some sort of movement to kind of keep it in control. What a Dragon Tamer.
Yeah, I mean, Osse leaving with max HP, that's going to be... Oh, ScotTroid's fucking into the air. That's not what you want to see. You know, this happened to ScotTroid before, and he was able to weave through. Oh, I didn't quite get that weave. Okay, takes an extra hit. I think he's going to be okay. 167 HP, that's still a good amount. He did have that buffer for that crate E-Tank. In hindsight, looking like a wise decision. But yeah, I have to imagine at this point that Osse's probably getting ahead of now.
Yeah, it's a fair amount of time lost. I didn't actually really think about it, but Scotty ended up bomb spreading his way into Wasteland, as opposed to using the power bomb. Is that actually faster?
You know, I'm not sure. I've wondered that because the reason you have to spark to kill those pirates up there is because it actually reduces the lag of the power bomb. The bomb spread itself doesn't really have much lag, so I'm not actually sure. But ScotTroid is also a player that does X Factors as well. Look at that mock ball from Osse. That's something he actually practices, so that was really cool. But I guess it's kind of a double whammy for your other question, because ScotTroid, I think, also wants to conserve that power bomb for Ridley, so that's probably another reason.
Okay, yep, Scotty ends up landing all those X Factors. I think he landed all those too. Maybe one whiffed and hit the tail.
Yeah, so ScotTroid is going to start up this fight now. Osse safely makes it out of that LN. 148 HP, that's definitely really good.
That escape, yeah.
Yeah, Osse at this point is going to have to start playing some catch-up because ScotTroid does have Kraid done. And we have a ScotTroid starting up this Ridley fight. Oh, not quite getting that ball boost for Osse. Just a little off. Yeah, so Sefi, I gotta say, ScotTroid is definitely playing this the way that ScotTroid appears to be playing this race is more so to not die. That's kind of the impression that I'm getting right now, which is good. All in all, like playing not to die is fine because you'll survive, and being able to complete a race is always a good thing. However, I don't know if that's enough to beat Osse.
Yeah, no. It's not. I mean, again, we saw Osse go head to head against Zos and was actually holding his own. Quick fight too, though. It could be that he just does not want to die, and better, to just kind of show that he can do it consistently. He can beat and complete this particular run. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, in the end, I think ScotTroid, like we said once again, ScotTroid is just kind of playing his own game. He's playing his own game. He's gonna complete the run. And if he wins or loses, I think he'll be happy with the result. Like, oh, I played about as best as I could. But I don't think he's going to let, the race nerves get to him. He's just going to be solid here and make sure he gets out of this island just fine. I think he actually wanted to do, because ScotTroid's situation is interesting. One of the problems with going Kraid second is doing Kraid gives you that super missile refill that you need for Meridia. So as you can see, Osse with 5 supers is going to farm mini Kraid, get 4 more supers, and is going to have a good amount going in, where ScotTroid has 5 right now. This means that he's going to have to find some supers elsewhere, and because he didn't do the Metal Pirate farm, he might be going for the bug farm before in that upper Norfair section.
Yeah, before the froggy, the eye frogs. It's very likely that he does do that instead. Of course, it is just preference. Maybe he's gonna bank on getting good drops as well, if that could be a thing.
Yeah, you do want to have at least 7 supers just to make sure you have the option to... Oh, taking a hit there. That's okay. ScotTroid has plenty of health. Only 1 hit in 3 Musketeers. That's fine. Oh,
Osse?
Wait a second. Osse, that has to be an adaptation to what ScotTroid's doing, because you typically don't take that tank. You don't need that tank. Because you only need about 130 health, and then you're going to grab that Batoon tank. But I think Osse knows how far ahead he is at this point, and he's 4 tanking for that safety. That's a race decision for sure.
Okay, yeah, so this is the farm that you were mentioning. Should be okay to go here, but I guess, what he's been doing the entire race is farming to full, so...
Yes. So here we go. This is interesting because ScotTroid is playing his own game for sure. Osse with that grab almost certainly is almost certainly kind of playing the race here. That was absolutely a live adaptation. The Kraid tank is something that you typically just never have to get. But Osse, just knowing how far ahead he is taking that extra safety. Sephi, what would be another interesting adaptation? If Osse knew how far ahead he was, he could potentially have considered grabbing those like Aqueduct supers on the right where the snails are.
Yeah.
That's something that Cutie's talked about before, grabbing the extra missiles there. And maybe... What is this?
Whoa.
What?
Osse?
What was that?
Are you kidding me? Yo, all right.
What kind of setup? All right, I'm studying this spot right afterwards.
Everyone's right now clipping the the MVP moment of the matchup. That was actually nutty.
I have never seen an X Factor setup like that in my life.
Honestly, like you, I kind of want to laugh that out too, because I sometimes with that, that one particle, and one particle that can make a difference.
Yeah, I don't even know what happened there. So Osse, I don't know if he whiffed the wall jump or he just decided I'm only just going to commit to the halfie. I don't want to miss full halfie. I'm okay to keep played a little bit safer. But yeah, that was absolutely an interesting. I guess you can. It's not the D factor setup, so I guess you can call it the Osse factor setup, unless there's some history with that setup and I'm not aware. But that was very cool.
That's why, it's always great to see different runners, because you'll never know what you're gonna get, what flavor of speedrun you're gonna get.
Yeah, I mean, this has been quite fascinating. ScotTroid with get 4 supers. That was a good farm. Let's see if Osse can get this good opener here. I think he missed a few particles. Doesn't have that many supers either, so he's gonna have to unload. I don't think the spark is gonna kill. Yeah, there we go. Osse trying to get a little extra. Oh, whoa, okay. That was good enough.
Yeah.
That looked a little scary too, because he took kind of a bit of chain damage here, but you know, that 4 tanks, he's looking like he's in a good spot. So yeah, solid kill for Osse. I mean, we've seen Dragon fights get really out of control, but I think the confidence that you can get with having that extra tank and just the kind of the execution there was really strong. So here we go.
I wonder if Osse would have done that crate E-tank pickup either way, because part of me also thinks that, you know, with how safe Scotty's been playing, you know, it kind of makes sense for Osse to kind of just pick that up too, you know, like if he's playing safe, you know, to just not die on the off chance that I die, I might as well just pick up an E-tank too to ensure that I don't die. So it's just like a counter, you know, safety strat.
Yeah, definitely something we're gonna have to ask him after this match. But yeah, Scotty tried to do the little bomb jump out of here. It looks like that didn't work out, so I think it's gonna gravity jump out here. Yeah, there we go. So Scotty equipping that Ice and Spazer, which Osse's gonna have to do later at the G4 elevator. Yeah, Scotty doing the grav jump and keep that blue so that he can spark across that Coliseum.
Yeah, okay, so I was gonna... Okay, got no supers off of that. Really wants to... I guess just wanted one more.
Okay, so with Osse saving there, or sorry, not saving there, farming there, I was going to ask Sephi, I'm wondering if Osse, if he can maintain this sort of lead, if he would consider saving prior to Mother Brain. I would have originally asked maybe the ship refill, but I think if Osse farms there, he's not going to be doing that. It's not going to save your race if you die to Mother Brain, because ScotTroid is not that far behind. But in the event of a double KO, it would guarantee you the win. So I'd be curious to see if Osse maybe considers that if he can maintain this lead.
Oh yeah, no, I was also considering the ship, but then it occurred to me that it doesn't really make a lot of sense, because the ship usually is a refill that you want to take when you're really low on energy, and I mean, he's got it. Banking on the drops, you're probably I don't know, you might lose some time if you get shafted on the Metroid drops, but it's still at least, you know, doable. Like even if you have to refill because you are missing 1 super or 2 supers, even if you have to refill missiles, I think you should still be okay, on top of like already making a decision to save, because you're that far ahead. This is like about maybe a minute plus or minus on Scotty.
You know, speaking of resources, ScotTroid, I did see, he did farm a little bit of Meridia, but he actually still had like 8 supers at that point. So ScotTroid's health not looking like the absolute best. It's fine, serviceable, but 9 supers, that's crazy. The G4.
Yeah, and depending on the strategy that he goes for in Metroid Room 1, he's really gonna hope that either these pirates drop some sort of energy, especially big energy. Nope.
That's just 1 little health for ScotTroid. So there's things that can still happen here. 1 super for Osse. Osse can lose a lot of time if these Metroids do not cooperate.
Yeah,
we're gonna have to see.
That said, though, I feel like this is standard ammo, like for
didn't get the super there. He's gonna group those Metroids. He's gonna have to missile this. Not the best.
Yeah, no.
I think we're gonna see Osse just keep missiling everything here. That's okay, but 5 supers is not quite enough. That's a lot of supers.
Yeah, that's way better.
That's a lot of supers. But Osse, yeah, he's going to go ahead and missile everything. I have to imagine this last one, he's probably just going to be willing to super. But, you know, he could consider just missiling here. He does have the advantage right now. Yeah, Osse's just gonna super that. Okay, so 20, 10, 399 health. It's 499 health, in fact.
Yeah.
Looking pretty darn good for Osse. All right, ScotTroid's turn. Oh.
Okay. Actually, that makes sense for him to go that risky.
Yeah. Oh, unfortunately, because he missiled the last one, he didn't get the health drops that he wanted. So yeah, he's gonna want to super these. Let's see if Osse can get this baby skip. One extra jump. Good skip for Osse.
Right there. You know, Scotty actually has been doing his thing and just going for like all the quick strats. Nice. He got everything. Oh, the very awkward room in Torian.
Yeah. I hate these rooms where you just kind of can't keep your run speed because if you lose it in the beginning, it sucks.
Yeah.
All right. No save for Osse. Let's see if he goes for the down back sub skip. This is something he's been practicing. Kind of messes it up. Ooh, he's having some trouble here. Uh-oh. Okay, makes it through.
Okay.
Ooh, got scammed by a turret. Oh man, he's just getting shot by all these turrets. They don't want Osse to finish this round.
Yeah, those turrets can feel pretty sentient, and they are out to snipe.
Yeah, unfortunately, ScotTroid did get grabbed by the baby. So he's far enough significantly at this point, but Osse does have to survive this Mother Brain 2 fight. If he does not, it could be a double KO because ScotTroid I know is not watching the restream. So let's see what happens here.
I mean, when you're as cool and collected as Osse is, he should be okay, especially with an extra tank. But then again, sometimes Mother Brain is pretty aggressive.
Seffi, I've got to say, Mother Brain has never stressed me out more than in this tournament. It's one of those fights that you just don't expect people to fail at. But it's just something about this tournament, I just get so nervous, you know?
Yeah, definitely because it's like the last biggest hurdle.
Yes.
You know, the last point where you can actually die. Or just soft lock, whatever happens to be the case. You really hope, you know, that each runner just makes it past this point.
Nice catch-up dodge. That first one, like you said before, Seffi, it's always the scary one. I think Osse's got this under control.
Yeah, it's great, you know, that it kind of feels almost
oh, that's that meatball.
Oh, no.
Okay. I thought the meatballs were always followed by ketchup at that point, but...
Yeah, so that's what I was, like, curious about.
I was a little confused there for a second. But there we go. Osse through the last dangerous part of this match with a commanding lead over ScotTroid at the moment.
I want to say, you know, that... And of course, the race isn't over, but Osse definitely in a very, very beneficial position to win this. ScotTroid did actually play really, really well, and you know, the time losses really came from that baby skip and from playing extra safe. So,
oh no!
But the morph happened. Oh no! Oh,
that's entirely your fault, Seffi. What do you have to say for yourself, Seffi? That is definitely your fault.
The only thing I have to say is I'm just gonna say like every swear word right now because it's probably like the last time I'm gonna do commentary. Just kidding. No, that's so
it's unfortunate. You know, I think it's okay. In the end, Osse almost certainly would have taken this victory. But you know, you never really want to see someone go down that way. Either way, we'll blame this on Seffi.
I'll take it. I have to. I mean, there's been a lot of times, I guess every single time that I speak during this fight, yeah, there's a lot of close calls. I know it happened yesterday when Glove was doing their Mother Brain 2 fight.
Yes. But yeah, I mean, Osse still does have to finish at this point. Nothing's really standing in his way except for the escape. But if Osse's, Super Nintendo explodes or something like that, I mean, the match goes on. ScotTroid has to keep continuing. Osse's gonna have to boot up his computer and try to play an emulator or something.
Emulator,
Here we go. We got the escape for Osse.
And this being 44 pace, yeah, that's strong. That's really strong.
Yeah, this is absolutely a very strong pace. 44 in a run. Nothing to scoff at, that's for sure. But let's see if Osse can get to 44, because there's definitely a lot of rooms where you can fall and lose time there. Nice moonfall for Osse. Little bonk right there. That's okay. Quickly jumping up the wall here. There we go. Sephi, we got the spark. We got the parlor, the steam, and then it's the ship.
And then with that, it would be the victory for Osse to go on in this alternative winners bracket, the golden bracket.
Getting hit by every steam there, but that's okay. Making it to the finish line. And GG. Osse finishing with an official racetime.gg time of 44 minutes and 52 seconds. Get your GGs in chat for Osse.
I am curious to ask Osse how he feels about this run, because this is definitely not close to his PB. Mm-hmm. There are some safeties that he took. The biggest one being the Crady tank. But yes. I would still argue, it just handled everything right. Oh, also, I forgot in Rage Fan 2, and so that also has to feel pretty bad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely have to ask him a few questions. Definitely have some questions for ScotTroid as well. They're in the interview booth. And joining us right now in the interview booth is Osse. Osse, congratulations on your win. Have any thoughts on the race?
Hey, thanks. I guess first thought is I'm getting consistent 44s. Been 44 all day yesterday. So it's nice to see, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, aiming for better.
Of course. Actually, I'm glad you said that, because you pretty much already answered my question. That you are satisfied with consistent 44s. It's I guess that's what you prioritize. The matter of consistency in your times.
It more just works out that way. I'm trying to do, especially right now, focusing on more consistent strats. Well, that's to reduce the time losses that I have been getting in the past to improve my overall time. But I am going for consistency right now, yes.
Okay, yeah, no, speaking of consistency, we, of course, were just, dazzled by that Botwoon X Factor setup.
Yeah, that was fun. I was just watching Zos one night. I'm like, what if you make a height differential, and so you start as a morph ball the first time they pass you, then you jump a bit when they pass again, and then on the third time that the particles meet, they're gonna hit Botwoon, who's higher than Samus. So that was fun to find, and it works for any equipment loadout for rando. So it's good to know.
Yeah, everyone, I have to imagine the clip button was being blasted the moment that you did that, because that setup was very unique, and I'm sure everyone wants to review that one very quickly.
Yeah, the other trick that I found is for Ridley to get a third X Factor with my opener. But one, I've been having issues farming enough power bombs, to even get 3. And then 2, I got the dumb left Ridley start in this fight, so I couldn't really do my opener at all.
Yeah, I know that you also, because I know you like to just kind of experiment with things. I know that just maybe a few days ago it was that kind of we're looking into setups to do X Factor's mid Ridley fight and still get untouched. I thought that was a really cool video.
Yeah, so everyone knows about the pogo manip. The timing works out on that pretty well, where you can hold a charge, like break your spin with the shot to hold a charge, and that just works out to be a good time to hit him with an X Factor. Just do a tiny jump at the end. And so I put that into the opener.
That was actually really neat to see. Scotty also joining us in the booth. GG or BG, depends on how you want to view it. Sorry for that tragic death.
Say MG.
Huh.
For Morb game.
Morb game.
Oh, there you go. Shout out to Suffy.
Shout out to Morbius. I didn't come up with that. It came up with its on its own. How did you feel about your run, Scotty?
So I haven't been watching the restreams, but I felt like I had a really bad, really pretty kind of slow early game. So during bowling, I'm like, you know what? Let's just see how far behind I am. And it turns out I was ahead. So I started getting nervous again.
Oh no.
I was like, well, I'm ahead, so that way hitting upgrade second, that'll be like no big deal. We'll be probably about even coming out, but I don't know, nerves. I kept checking on the restream every once in a while to see what's up, but
I was telling the runners that historically you have not seen the restream, so I am now a liar. I'm sorry about that.
You weren't a liar for the first 13 minutes.
Okay, thank you.
So I was actually curious then because Eddie kept bringing up because we were curious with all the safeties that you took, and it did look, at least to me, I can't really say for sure on Eddie's part, but yeah, those safeties, you did take your time on those, like farming up full health, full supers. Was your plan really just to like finish the run because you knew, Osse, of course, being a Morb gamer, just was a favorite to win, or what was the strategy here?
Yeah, honestly, just to finish the run, try to do everything as fast as I can, but also making sure I don't do anything crazy, not have enough health for something. I kind of didn't have a power bomb out of Fantoon that was bothering me, and then threw out. Oh my god, Batoon soaked up so many supers. That was horrible. But I got super lucky with the little farm right before Dragon, and then somehow got the full halfie. I don't know how. I was just kind of winging it there.
I mean, sounds like a pure gamer skill to me. If you can wing that and grab it, I mean, that just shows, how good you are at the game.
No, but that's pretty much it. It sucks that I couldn't finish, but GG to Osse for that. Good win.
Yeah, it was a good race. I was watching the restream. My plan coming to this is to try to find a E-tank that I could add, either Ridley or Kraid. And also, I built in health saving strats into my route.
Yeah, that explains the Kraid tank that you picked up on the way out.
Yeah, I wasn't sure. Scotty was ahead to Kraid, and so didn't feel like I could safely get Ridley tank. But I felt ahead at Kraid, so I got it then. And plus, I had full health leaving Ridley, so whatever.
Okay,
Yeah.
making a live adaptation on the race. That's always an interesting one in these races. I think it's something interesting that you can't get in just like a normal PB attempt. But that was definitely cool to see.
Yeah. With that, of course, that is a send off for ScotTroid. So hope you had fun. I'm sorry I killed you with my with my commentary curse.
Yeah, actually, I think Sephi triggered that catch up to hit you, Scotty. He was saying something, and then you immediately got hit after that. So I think you can entirely blame Sephi for that. And I apologize for my co-com.
I definitely deserve it. It's fine. Pretty much my last 2 races I've won because my opponents died. So there's my karma catching up with me there.
Well, I mean, it's awesome that you showed up and you participated. I don't know if you were really thinking that you'd make it up to this point.
Yeah, in the money. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, by my calculations, securing a bag of at least $108 right off the bat. Nothing to scoff at. For a Super Metroid tournament, I'd say that's pretty darn good.
Yeah, congrats on your $108 Arby's gift card. You spend it well. But yeah, Osse. So you're moving forward. How do you feel about what's to come?
I'm feeling pretty invested in this tournament. Putting
Good.
a lot of time and effort into it, and it just really stacked, especially deeper you go. So I don't know. It'll be tough, but I guess I'll enjoy it. I'm in it to play.
Well, good luck on those future matches for sure. Who's the next opponent, actually?
The winner between Slaughter's and DeCalled.
Ooh, and that's
Gonna be a good one.
Yeah. Yeah, good luck on that one. And shout outs to Eddie for, again, I keep saying this, whether it's on like in the actual speed gaming channels or even elsewhere, it's like bringing all these people together. You know, the talent, the speed runners, of all of them. We get to see some really cool matchups, and yeah, putting all of this. Make sure to follow the runners. Don't forget that. Follow Eddie. Yeah, you can close this out, Eddie, because I talked so much that I got someone killed. So
all right. Before that, ScotTroid, Osse, thank you for joining the races. Are there any final words that you'd like to say?
GG.
Jesus. Yep, GG, Scotty. You're a strong opponent.
Shout outs to SpeedGaming. This tournament's awesome. And the Super Metroid community as a whole.
Right. That's you heard it here. Super Metro community, amazing. Speed Gaming organization for making this happen. Amazing. And yeah, I will close us out. Thank you so much, everyone, joining us here for this match between Osse and ScotTroid. This was the lower bracket losers round 3. Scotty is now out of the tournament, but not without securing a nice bag of at least that $108. Osse will move on to be playing the winner of Slaughter's and DeCalled. As Sephi said, please give those runners a follow. Give Sephi a follow too on the commentary crew. But there's so many people that can make this happen for us. The Speed Gaming staff working tirelessly to crop the restreams, getting all this running for us. I would like to point out something very quickly while I can, but Speed Gaming does in fact have a GoFundMe for their live event right now. If you would be so too inclined, we do also have a Matcherino for our prize pool. But if you would be so inclined, please go ahead and maybe spare some money for their GoFundMe. They're trying to get some things working out. If it would be great if you could do that, we'd all appreciate it. But yeah, once again, thank you so much for tuning in to watching this match between Osse and ScotTroid. Lots of other great races coming up ahead for us. So tune in tomorrow for that. Thank you so much once again, and we will see you next mission.